Hello and welcome to the Leadership Tribe. I'm so excited to share these laws of leadership with you. Starting my journey with John Maxwell has been exciting and rewarding, and I can't wait to share them. So there's no other place I'd rather be than here with you sharing this information. So these laws, there's 21 of them. We're going to break them down into 3 a session, and if you follow them, the people will follow you because you are improving yourself and adding value to others. The first law is the law of leadership. This determines your effectiveness. So your leadership ability determines a person's level of effectiveness. If you have a little bit of leadership ability within you, then you can share a little bit of leadership ability with others. If you have some, you can share some. If you have a lot of leadership abilities, then you can share a lot. But it all is going to determine and be dependent on you. It's like a lid on a jar, or a lid that you can continue to raise, like a bar on when you go pole vaulting, there's that bar. So the leadership's ability is the lid that determines a person's level of effectiveness. The lower an individual's ability to lead, the lower the lid on his potential. But the higher the individual's ability to lead, the higher the lid on his potential. So if you want to climb higher up in your organization, the more you need leadership. You need the skills and what it's going to take to increase this. The greater the impact you want to make, the greater your influence needs to be. So whatever you will accomplish is restricted, or you're held back by your ability to lead others. Looking at this example right here, let's say your leadership ability is a 1, then your effectiveness is going to not be very high. I mean, no matter how effective you are talking to people, connecting to people, if your leadership ability is here, you will not have success. Now, let's say that you increase your leadership ability. So let's say now you increase it and you learn the skills, then you move it to a 6. Look how big this square is. Your effectiveness is going to be even more because your success is here and you're dedicated, but you increased your leadership skills, so it's going to increase. So that's what we're doing on this training, is gaining more insight into leadership, what we can do to be better leaders. And this is a mastermind where we all grow together. I don't know it all, you don't know it all, but together we can know more, and that's the goal here. So what is the lid on my leadership? Here you're going to ask yourself, as far as character, what would I give myself a score here of? As far as charisma, from 1 to 10. And then once you come up with your score, you're going to divide it by 21, and that's going to be your leadership lid number. And hopefully when we take this again at the end, that number will have increased, because you're going to learn more about character. You're going to learn more about focus, responsibility, relationships, teachability, your vision, how to problem solve. All of these we're going to talk about. So take a few minutes. You can pause this video and you can learn your lid number. Raising your lid. Ask those closest around you to grade you on your lid. Ask them to evaluate and consider the likeness and differences that you have. Go back to the 21 qualities and find where you can make the greatest impact by growing. Remember, work to your strengths. So pick the top 3, and those are going to be your strengths. Those are the ones that you want to work on. Things you can do today to raise your lid. Value experience with reflection. Look back on things you have done and reflect more often, and invest in training such as this one. Other ways that you can raise your lid is mentorship or coaching. I highly recommend my team to coach, because they only know what they know. They don't realize what they don't know, and there's so much out there they don't know, and they need to find somebody that can connect with, and I believe that is a coach. I believe it's a person that's not vested in their success. I think it's a person that's invested in them personally, coaching them and helping them to reach the next level. A mastermind group or a focus group, and then do something beyond yourself. Reflect on who has been a lid lifter in your life, what characteristics made them a lid lifter, And then look at some of the things you're doing and make a stop doing list. Sometimes we do things we don't need to be doing. We have the law of influence is law number 2. The true measure of leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. So as a leader, it is our job to influence others. And there are some different types of trainings that I've seen that tell you, ways to influence. But I will tell you, when you think you're leading and no one is following, you're only taking a walk. So truly, if you're not influencing people and you're not helping them to get to where they need to be and focusing in on those you need to work with, it doesn't matter if they're out of your organization or if they're not in your Gen Zero and they're following you, you're not leading, because you need to lead your people, not everybody else's people. You need to lead your people. And that's why I love the name of this group. It's Leadership Tribe for a reason, because these are the people that I work with. These are the people that I have a vested interest in. And I don't want to just be taking a walk. I don't want to work with people that aren't in my tribe. The myths of leadership. You have the management myth, the entrepreneur myth, the knowledge myth, the pioneer myth, and the position myth. We'll look first at the management myth. And there is a difference between management and leadership. The management myth is, do people follow you because they're following your direction, your policies, procedures? Then you're a manager. But that is not true leadership. If they are not influenced by you to follow you, then you're not a leader, you're a manager. The entrepreneur myth is, are you financially successful? Did you see a need and knew how to fulfill that need? Did you create your own business? That is your skill, and that is wonderful. Many people have that same dream. Being an entrepreneur does not automatically qualify you as someone with people skills and influence. Many are not good with people. Many entrepreneurs find it best to partner with someone skilled at working with people. If you can't influence people, you're not a leader. Entrepreneurship does not equal leadership. And then there's the knowledge myth. Just because you have the knowledge doesn't mean you're a leader. Think of 5 of the most intelligent people in your circle. So write down their names. Put a check mark next to each one that is leading you. Are you following that lead because of their intelligence or guidance? Or are you following that lead because the influence has captivated you to move in their direction? And there is a difference. The pioneer myth is, you can get there first, but if no one follows you, you're not a leader. So on page 14 and 15 of the book, Edmund Hillary was the first man to reach the summit of Mount Everest. Since that historical event in 1953, hundreds have followed him in the same feat, but he was not the leader of that expedition. John Hunt was the leader. So there's a difference. To be a leader, a person has not only to be out front, but to have people intentionally coming behind him. There is a difference. Just because you are a senior director or an executive director or a senior executive director and you've pioneered your team there, it doesn't make you a leader. You've got to help others reach that goal. And you have to work with your Gen Zero to help people reach that goal. Discuss the various tactics you could use to influence people to where they want to go. Whether it's training or coaching your team, whatever it is that works for you personally, then that's what you need to do to be the leader. The last one is position myth. It's not the position that makes the leader, it's the leader that makes the position. There's a lot of directors out there in your company, but they're not all leaders. Some of them got there by doing some tasks, but they're not all leaders. There are senior directors that got there, some by accident, but some of them are great leaders. And on your page, you can see how they're influencing others on your leadership pages. Have you ever worked for a CEO or a president or somebody who followed their rules? Of course you did. You did from Monday to Friday, 8 to 5, right? So how many of you followed their leads on Saturday and Sunday? Were you truly influenced by as leaders or by their title? Discuss how your title will influence others to follow your lead. Drop your title. Now discuss how you will influence others to lead through leadership skills. There are 7 factors of leadership. Character, people can sense truth and integrity. Relationships, surround yourself with the right people. Knowledge is study, learn, know the facts, do your homework. Intuition is your energy, your morale, your timing, your momentum. What do you feel? Your experience, what has challenged you in the past, and how can you learn from that? That's the reflection piece. Past success, what is your track record? Have you extended yourself, taken a risk, and succeeded? Have you beat your very best? And are you still working to beat your very best? Ability, what are you capable of? Can you be a good coach? So the third law, and it's our last law on this call, is leadership develops daily, not in a day. And it's so many people want to get at the top right now. And you have to work on it. It's a process. There's 5 levels of leadership. Number 1, I don't know what I don't know. And many directors are here because they don't realize. There's many senior directors that still don't know. I think when you realize what you don't know is when you go to a leadership retreat and you see so many people and hear their ideas and you're like, I didn't know that. So then number 2, I know that I need to know. And once you have this experience that you need to know, you start working and you start growing and building, your systems and your organization. Number 3, I know what I don't know, but what is your plan for growth? You need a growth plan. You need an action plan. Number 4, I know and grow, it starts to show. And you can see a change in people once they get past that hurdle. And then usually as they're recruiting, booking, selling, building leaders, they have their systems. It's a very simple process. I simply go because of what I know. And there are duplicatable systems here, and then there's some that are very individualized, but these definitely, it's a process and you learn as you go, and you can't have it in 1 year in. You have to learn from experience. This process will lift your lid. What are you doing right now to build yourself into a great leader? What books are you reading? What seminars are you enrolling in? And what sacrifices are you making to reach your goal? These are questions you need to ask yourself. The secret of our success is discovered in our daily agenda. And I have found a new system that's working for me that I really can focus on that daily agenda. I can really keep everything together in one place. My personal system is a bullet journal. It's finally something I found that works for me. And it really helps me grow myself as a leader, my business, and my John Maxwell business. Everything I do is in that one daily agenda, and I can make sure I'm taking action every day to move forward and grow. So here's our action plan for week 2. Read over laws 4 through 6. Create a daily, weekly, and monthly agenda that works for you. I'm not saying the bullet journal works for everybody, but this will be a work in progress, so don't worry if you have to add or subtract from this list. Create there's so many tools to use. You can use Wunderlist, you can use Trello, whatever's going to work for you, create it and find it. Then you create your monthly personal goals, your personal volume, your number of parties or face-to-faces you want to have each month, and your number of new recruits you want to sign up a month. You need to create these goals. We're not going to get anywhere in this training if you're not creating your own goals. Then you need to share those goals with your accountability partner. If you want me to work with you and hold you accountable to those, you're welcome to send those to me. I don't have to be your accountability partner, but I'm willing to, check in with you and make sure that you're working towards those goals. These are what we will look over and kind of work on as we go. That daily, weekly, monthly agenda, this will be something that you'll continually work on. But your goals are something that you need to find what works for you, and they might change month to month, but you need to have personally set these goals. We will look more at team goals as we go, but this is where we're going to stop for today. The answers to the worksheets will be posted on the page for you to look over. Most of them we have covered. There's a few that might not have got into this training. So I'll post those to the page also. Thanks and have a great day.